a minute. Yeah. So as you know, we have finished discussing and analyzing Adhyay 18, and we are going to start a new chapter today. And since we are chanting the 9th chapter, I thought that it would be good to understand what we are chanting. So we are going to start with Adhyay 9 today. All right. So let me first tell you what Adhyay 9 is all about. Adhyay 9 is, as you may have been hearing daily, it's called Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga, meaning the yoga or the union, the technique of connecting, making the union with the Bhagwan, with the Brahma, which is through sovereign science and sovereign secret. The sovereign secret and the sovereign knowledge of making contact with Brahma. And therefore, this is one of the most important chapters in the Bhagavad Gita. And it is right in the middle. You know that there are 18 adhyayas in the Gita, and number 9 is right in the middle. And when we come to the correct shloka, I will even tell you which is the exact middle shloka of the Gita, but not now. It will come soon. I have heard that Sant Gyaneshwar was chanting the 9th adhyaya of the Gita when he attained Samadhi. That is the beauty of this adhyaya. And in this adhyaya, like in adhyaya 2 also, there is no question from Arjun. Simply Bhagwan is giving his updesh to Arjun, and through Arjun, of course, to us. So what is the gist of this sovereign knowledge and the supreme secret that Bhagwan is telling Arjun? He's telling Arjun that the self, with a capital S, of course, that supreme being, pervades the entire world. That is the first point that Bhagwan wants to tell Arjun. He also tells Arjun how one can free oneself from all the agitations, the dukh, the sorrows that are part and parcel of sansar, where we live. And third thing, that he gives the method not just of removing the sorrow, but also of realizing the self and attaining the highest supreme spiritual goal, which is the purpose of life for every human being. So that is why this knowledge, this chapter is called Raja Vidya and Raja Guhya. What they mean, we will see right now in the very first shloka. To attain this supreme spiritual goal, it may take a being, I'll say a being because we can be in many different roops, forms. It may take a being billions of years, thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes. And we have been through all those lifetimes. And we have been through all those billions of years. And we have now reached human form. There are so many who have reached human form. But everyone who has reached human form is not interested in this satsang. Everyone who has reached human form doesn't have time for spiritual practice. There are only a few. And from those few who have time to attend satsangs, to bother with a Zoom pravachan, there will be only a few who will actually practice the knowledge that Bhagwan Krishna is giving Arjun. And therefore, even though this is the supreme goal of everyone's life, it will take many, many lifetimes till one becomes not only adhikari of this knowledge, but being adhikari of this knowledge, whether they will actually implement this knowledge, do the purusharth that is required, become adhikari, and then attain the grace through which the Atma will reveal itself to you. Having said that, let's start with shlok number 1. I will read. I will chant. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Athanavamodhyayaha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyamyanasuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yajñatva Mokshase Shubhat. Sri Bhagwan said, to you who are devoid of the carping spirit, I shall now unfold the most secret knowledge of Nirgun Brahma, along with the knowledge of manifest divinity, knowing which you shall be free from the evil of worldly existence. To you, the first thing that we have to understand is to who. The word is te. That word te means to you. Bhagwan is telling Arjuna. He is specifying that this knowledge is meant only for Arjuna. In particular, there are millions of warriors on the battlefield. There are Yudhishthir, Bhishma who are senior to Arjuna. There is Bhishma Pitama there. There is Dronacharya there. There are so many noble souls on the battlefield. But Bhagwan is telling it to Arjuna. Te, I am telling this to you. Why? Because you are qualified to receive it. So all knowledge needs some qualification, some criteria to whom you are going to give this knowledge. Even in our school textbooks, particular textbooks are meant for particular classes. If you try to teach the 12th standard textbook to someone in the 6th standard, it will be of no use. The knowledge will just be zipping over the head. Child will not be able to understand anything, right? So even like, for example, if somebody is an engineering student and you start teaching them liberal arts or vice versa, that it will be of no use that knowledge will be of no use to that person. So spiritual knowledge also has to be given wisely. So who would one want to give this knowledge to? Obviously, the Shishya should be interested. I always say, don't drag your family members to satsang. Let them come only if they are interested. Otherwise, it's boring for them, and actually their boredom kind of rubs out on other people also. They should be willing to learn. It shouldn't just be that they are coming for time pass, or they are coming for some entertainment, or they are coming for the tea and biscuits after the class. They should be coming because they want to learn something. If they think that, there's nothing for me to learn here, I already know everything, then you can't fill anything into a bottle which is already full. They should be ready to do some sadhana. If they have already done sadhana, then a lot of the antakaran will be purified already. But if it is not already done, then they should be willing to do some sadhana, start the practice. So why was Arjuna qualified more than everyone else in the Pandavas or the Kauravas? Why was Arjuna qualified? So Bhagwan says in this shloka itself, Anasuya, not giving to cavilling, means not finding fault with everything, not finding defects, not seeing this is wrong, that is wrong, and moreover, not even finding that the knowledge is wrong. We have not got any instant where Arjuna found fault with anyone else. He was quite impassionate. He was not envious of Karan also, even though Karan was maybe called his competitor in archery. He was never envious of Karan. And he did even Bhagwan Krishna told him so many things he didn't ridicule it. He didn't find fault with it. Maybe he couldn't understand some things. He asked Bhagwan to repeat several times, but he never argued with Bhagwan. He never ridiculed the teachings that Bhagwan was giving. Some students like to do that. They come to class and they are waiting only to find some ridiculous thing or some absurd thing you're saying or some, arguing. How can this happen? We are in sansar, we are in the world. How can this happen? They're not asking because they want to know how they should improve. They're asking to prove the teaching is wrong. Arjun never did that. Arjun never asked to be taught what is priya to him. Tell me what is in my highest good, is what Arjun told Bhagwan Krishna. Don't tell me what is priya. Don't tell me what I like to hear. Don't tell me what is comfortable for me. Tell me what is in my highest good, what is my shreya. And that made him adhikari. And most important, the faith, the shraddha that Arjun had towards Bhagwan Krishna. Without faith, you will either be in fear or you will be in doubt. One of the two. And these are emotions which close up, lock up your intellect, lock up your heart. So when you are listening with full faith, which means that there is some level of samarpan in your shravan, then the knowledge goes inside. Otherwise, this knowledge just remains as some sort of intellectual information. And if you'll remember, when we did Adhyay 4, Bhagwan also gave him some Updesh in Adhyay 4. And that time he told Arjun, I'm telling this to you because you are my Sakha and you are my Bhakt. Now, many people can be Sakha, friend, but they may not be a Bhakt of that person. Some may be Bhakt, but not Sakha. What is the difference? Sakha means a close friend, a confidant, someone you love. A friend is someone who's always there when you need that person. A friend is someone with whom you share your secrets. Bhagwan is now sharing his secret with Arjun. And Bhakt denotes a devotee. A devotee is one who has faith. A devotee is one who has samarpan, surrenderfulness. So this combination of friend, devotee, who has love, who has confidence, who is there when that person needs him, who is adoring that person, who is having faith in that person, who has surrendered, such a person is the description that Bhagwan gives of Arjun. And that makes Arjun adhikari of this knowledge. Here we have to see, where are we? How close do we feel to Bhagwan? How close do we feel to this knowledge? How close are we to becoming adhikari of this knowledge? Now, why is, of all the criteria, Bhagwan chose this one criteria, Anasuya? The person does not have a carping or cavilling nature. So there are two kinds of dosh that we say in our vision. The way we see things, the way we perceive things can be absolutely correct, or there can be two flaws in the way we perceive things. The first is called drishti dosha. Drishti means vision, dosha means flaw. There's a flaw in the way we are seeing things. There's a flaw in our vision, or there's a flaw in our understanding of what we are seeing. What is that flaw? This is everybody's flaw. We see the Vishais of the world as real. We think that they are the only truth. And all our life and happiness depends on these Vishais. That is the flaw. We do not see them in their essence as manifestations of Supreme Brahma. And that is the dosh that every human being who is not yet enlightened has. What is it called? Drishti dosha. Then there's another dosha, and it is called dosh drishti. Dosh drishti. See, the two words are opposite. This is not just not being able to understand, but I think this is a flaw in one's character. Some people like to see dosh, faults in everything. Whatever they perceive with any of the five senses, they must find something negative about it. And we call that a carping nature. Everyone probably knows at least one person like that in their life. By giving this criteria of Anasuya, Bhagwan is quite clearly telling us Arjun is not seeing the fault in Vishais. He is not seeing the fault in my teaching. He has faith. He has Samarpan Bhav. He is a close confidant. He has been there in need whenever I have needed him. And therefore, to you, Arjun, I am giving this highest knowledge and biggest secret. So, is it that one cannot have any doubt in our mind while listening to this knowledge? Can we not ask any questions, or should we have to just keep quiet and just listen to everything that is being said? No. In Vedanta way of teaching, questions are most welcome. In fact, every Upanishad is in the form of question and answers. And even in the Gita, Arjun asks many questions. But what is the motive of asking the question is the moot point. Arjun does ask questions to clarify his doubts. We must ask questions to clarify our doubts. Arjun asks questions out of interest to know more. He's eager to learn. We must also ask questions when we are eager to learn. In fact, when people don't ask any questions and they just sit quietly like statues after the class, one wonders whether anything has gone in or not. How can they not have any questions? Questions are most welcome and show an eagerness to know more. Questions can also be asked of how can this knowledge be converted into a daily practice? What is the sadhana? We, of course, in Siva, we convert every learning into a sadhana. So this is the way one progresses in Vedantic learning. So Arjun, we have got it, has qualified for this knowledge. What exactly is this great knowledge that Bhagwan wants to give Arjun? He says, idam jnanam, this knowledge, guhyatamam, is most secret. Guhyatamam, most secret. What is this knowledge? It's called Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya means what is Brahma? What is the nature of Brahma? What is the goal that we are trying to reach? See, if you want to reach a destination, you should at least know what that goal is. And here Bhagwan is going to tell us where we need to head in our spiritual journey. It is called the highest secret because this knowledge is a direct path to that highest goal. Biggest secret, because you can get all other kinds of knowledge in any other book, but only in the Shastras will you get this knowledge of Brahma Vidya. With this knowledge which you learn, which you'll hear, you'll be able to recognize Brahma, you'll be able to merge with Brahma, Atma will reveal itself, and you will get what we call a Paroksh Anubhuti. So what is very special over here in this Gita shloka that Bhagwan is going to tell only to Arjun? There is one word called, you can read it, Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. Gyan is the theoretical knowledge. Vigyan, the science, Sahitam with. So the science of attaining this knowledge, attaining this goal. See, no, you can give only theoretical knowledge. When teaching the Gita, we can give just theoretical knowledge. But a realized master will not be satisfied with giving only theoretical knowledge. A realized master who has walked the path, who has been through the trials and tribulations, who has done the sadhana, has purified and has reached that goal, will also give the vigyan of reaching that gyan. Means the experience, the experiential knowledge that goes along with the theory, the practical knowledge, how to walk the path, not just the theory. And that is why the Gita is so special, because in many Upanishads, the same knowledge is there, but all this practical knowledge of how to walk, how to go in that path, that comes over here in the Gita. So an adhikari shishya with a realized master will absorb both these things, the theory and the practical knowledge that will go into his samaj, his understanding. Now the guru can only share the knowledge, right? As well as the practical directions, how he has to walk, what is the sadhana. But the shishya has to take what he has heard and he has to do manan on it. After doing manan, introspection, slowly, that knowledge will get digested in him. Then it will get assimilated. Then it will get absorbed. And finally, that beautiful experience will happen, the first-hand experience of direct knowledge, direct experience that we call aparoksh anubhuti. The knowledge will now get converted into what we call wisdom. The only difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge is what you have got from others. Wisdom is you have experienced that same knowledge from within yourself. What will be the outcome? Bhagwan says, Mokshase Shubhat. Yaj Gyatva. Once you know this, you will be free from the evil of worldly existence. Bhagwan says the word Ashubh, Ashubhat, Ashubhat, inauspicious. Bhagwan is calling this worldly existence Ashubh, inauspicious. Why this world? What is wrong with the world? Why is the world being called Ashubh or inauspicious? What Bhagwan means here is this entire world has been created only by our mind. So the mind is the Ashubh entity which has created this entire worldly existence. How do we know that? Because when we are at deep sleep, the mind is asleep, the world disappears. And we are at our most blissful state from all the three states of waking, sleeping, and dreaming. So this mind is the Ashubh thing. And whenever we associate ourselves with the mind, that creates our bondage. That creates our connection with the worldly existence and takes us away from Brahma Gyan. So the bondage is becoming free from the inauspicious mind. that has created the inauspicious sansar, along with all the inauspicious fears and all the inauspicious desires, vasanas, all this entire thing, yaj gyatva, knowing this Brahma Vidya, all this you will become free from it. Moksha se shubhat. You will get moksha. What is moksha? Very simply understand what is moksha. Moksha is freedom from vasanas. Be clear about that. Moksha is freedom from vasanas. Because of vasanas, you have come again and again and again into the world. Free yourself from vasanas, that is moksha. So this is the supreme secret in Adhyay 9 that Bhagwan is now going to reveal to Arjun and through Arjun to us. Okay. So what is the nature of this Gyan? When we did Adhyay 18, I took this second shloka at that time. So we will do a little bit of revision of that in the second shloka. Let me read the second shloka. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyayam. This knowledge of both Nirgun and Sagun aspects of divinity is a sovereign science, a sovereign secret, supremely holy, most excellent, directly enjoyable, attended with virtue, very easy to practice, and imperishable. 8 different epithets, 8 different natures of this knowledge. Detailed description Bhagwan has tried to give us in this one shloka. Okay, let us go through them all one by one. First is Raj Vidya. Vidya is science, knowledge. Raj is royal. Okay. Raj also means effulgent, shining, that has light of its own. That's why it's knowledge. So this knowledge that Bhagwan is going to tell Arjun is like a royal knowledge. You can say the emperor of all knowledges, Raja Vidya, emperor of all knowledges. Brahma Vidya comes under Vedanta studies. So what exactly does Vedanta studies teach us? It teaches us simply the science of living correctly, according to Dharma, according to Shastras. It tells us the purpose of our life. And it goes beyond how to live correctly. It tells you how to die correctly also. And it tells you where you are supposed to take this journey, not just from birth to death, but through eternal life also. That is where Vedanta comes in. As I mentioned the other day, it's not enough to learn to be a good person. Good person, many people can be. The journey doesn't end with being fully sattvic. The journey doesn't end with being a good person who has all virtues, relatively no vices, who's always helping other people, who's doing good, who's doing sadhana, who's going for yatra, who's doing dan. It doesn't end there. That is the outside part. That is purifying you. Then the journey turns inwards. So outside journey first, inside journey, that is Vedanta starts then. Okay. So we have all been born with this machine, body, mind, intellect, BMI, what we call. Whenever we buy any machine, we get a directions for use. So Vedanta is the directions for use for this equipment of BMI that we have been born with. And these instructions of use, if you use them correctly, the outcome will be moksha. So therefore, Raja Vidya, because it is a royal knowledge, it is a science of living correctly, giving you your highest spiritual goal. Second, it is called Raja Guhyam. Again, Guhyam, secret, Raj, supreme, highest, royal secret. So because it's called royal secret, we can compare it to a king. Now, king is privy to a lot of important information, or we can say prime minister also. Prime minister or a king cannot reveal all the information to every citizen, right? Prime minister or a king cannot reveal everything to all the ministers also who have been elected. He will have some select few people to whom he can reveal top secret information, some confidential information. It will be given to select people only. In the same way, the spiritual knowledge of Adhyay 9, Bhagwan says, it is a Rajaguhyamam. It is a secret knowledge I'm going to transmit. So this is what the Guru has to do. He has to transmit this Rajaguhyamam to Adhikari Shishyas. Who will be the Adhikari Shishya? Of course, Anasuya. But to who the spiritual goal is top priority. Top priority. Not top priority. I make a mistake. Only goal. When the spiritual goal becomes your only goal, you are privy to Raja Guhyamam. Okay? Now, how does the Guru transmit this knowledge to the Shishya? Very interesting. Brahma Vidya is an experiential knowledge of the self. Okay? It cannot be transmitted through books. It cannot be transmitted in a pravachan, even face to face, let alone Zoom. It cannot be transmitted by any vishay which uses the five senses. No indriyas are involved in this knowledge. Otherwise, all other knowledge is acquired through the five senses. But Brahma Vidya cannot be acquired through the five senses. So how is it transmitted? It is transmitted through grace, or what we call kripa. Now this kripa is always flowing from a realized master. But the guru, who should be realized, has no control over this kripa. It's not like the guru has something called kripa, something, let us say, there is kripa in this bag, and now the guru has control. Okay, open the bag, take out the kripa and give to so-and-so, but don't give to this person. Give only little bit here, give a little bit more there. No, no, no. Guru has no control over the grace or the kripa that is just flowing, just flowing. Neither does the Shishya have the ability to draw this transmission of kripa, which is always flowing. So this is something that has its own energy, it has its own will, it has its own way of moving. Neither the Guru nor the Shishya can decide where this grace can flow. That is why it is so ridiculous when people say, bless me with kripa, bless me with kripa. One can only bless that kripa decides to go to you. That's the only blessing a guru can give. Okay. So what is the mechanism? The universe knows everything, right? The supreme power knows everything. So when the Shishya becomes ready, when the Shishya becomes spiritually mature enough, when that auspicious time comes, then the transmission happens automatically. Neither the guru can decide that, nor the shishya can decide that. That is the beauty of how this works. Therefore, being always in the state of mind that being in the presence, in the satsang, along with the guru, ready, mature, with samarpan bhav, with purification, all those things the shishya has to do. That is his purushat. The grace flows automatically. So, Mundak Upanishad has one very nice shloka, which it says, this Atma, I'll not read the Sanskrit, this Atma cannot be attained, means you cannot have a paroksh anubhuti, cannot be attained by dint of study or intelligence or much hearing. You may be very intelligent, but you cannot attain the Atma, self-realization, just by reading a lot, just by studying a lot, or just by being very intelligent. I love this next line. Whomsoever the Atma chooses, to him this Atma reveals his real nature. Whoever the Atma chooses. In other words, the Atma of the Guru and the Atma of the Shishya, they are both the same, right? Atma is one only. You cannot say Atma of this one is different and Atma of this one is different. All are Atma only. So the inner being of the Guru chooses the inner being of the Shishya. The Atma of the Guru and the Atma of Shishya are one and the same. They kind of become one, and Atma reveals itself. Beautiful. It's a spontaneous inner choice, inner being. And that is why it is called so secret, because neither I can do, you can do, any guru can do, or any shishya can do. Secret, sovereign secret. How it happens, nobody knows. Simply it happens. And second reason is also there for secret. So now let's say this grace has flown and the Shishya has become enlightened and seen the Atma, and everyone will say, you have experienced the Atma. Tell me, what is that experience? What did you experience? No way to explain. There are no words. So this explanation or description of what that person has experienced also remains a secret, sovereign secret, because there are no words to explain this secret. It is purely experiential. It can only be experienced personally. So now you know why it is called sovereign knowledge, sovereign science, sovereign secret. Then what else? Bhagwan calls it pavitram, supremely holy. Pavitra, holy. Pavitram, most holy. Of course, it's obvious. It is supremely holy because we are talking about Brahma Vidya, but also because this knowledge, as you keep learning it, it makes you holy. It purifies your antakaran, and therefore it is a purifier. Therefore, Bhagwan calls it pavitram. So now Kumbh is going on, and everyone asks me the same question. Yesterday I was at a satsang. There also they asked me the same thing. If you dip into the Ganga, will all our karmas and papas and paps and everything, will it all get dissolved? Will we become purified? I said, it's a good advertisement for the Kumbh. Take a dip in the Ganga is a symbolic way of saying, take a dip in the knowledge that the Ganga symbolizes. You know that the Ganga is a symbol of knowledge. So Ganga is a symbol of pure knowledge. And when they say take a dip in the Ganga, what they are saying is take a dip in pure knowledge. And that is why Bhagwan is calling this Pavitram. All right, before we get this knowledge, being human, we'll do some dharma, we'll do some adharma also. there will be some pap, there will be some punya, there will be some avguns, there will be some sadguns also. And all this we are gathering karma. Good karma also, bad karma also. But neither we want good karma nor bad karma, because both karmas are bondages. Once we take a dip in this knowledge, once we take a dubki, why dubki? Even the head goes down, full samarpan. Totally, we are absorbed in the purifying waters of the knowledge, dubki. Not just go and frolic in the water. Go in, right in. That is dubki, going right in. Cover yourself with that knowledge. Then all this karma, sharma, everything is burnt to ashes. Seeker gets fully purified. Pavitram. Uttamam. Most excellent. No need to explain that. Most excellent. All sciences, all knowledge are noble. This is the most noble of all sciences, makes the person most noble. Pratyakshaavagamam. Directly enjoyable. Pratyaksh, directly enjoyable. Directly because no books, no indriyas, no pravachan, nobody telling this to you. Directly you experience it. Directly enjoyable meaning directly experienced. Nothing can be more direct because it is coming from within us. The knowledge is coming from within us. So it's directly enjoyable. And secondly, the benefit that you get from this realization or from this experience is immediately felt. Suppose you save money. Gradually, you get a fat bank balance. With that fat bank balance, you have the benefit of buying luxurious goods. And then you'll feel happy. But here, directly, instantly, immediately, that flash of aparoksh anubhuti, and immediately you get the benefit. What is that benefit? Instant freedom, moksha. Instant, directly enjoyable. Then sixth one is dharmyam. It is full of dharma. Brahma Vidya, the core of it is dharma. Do your dharma, become pure, move on to inner journey. Dharma is outer journey. Biggest dharma is swadharma. Swadharma is realizing one's own self. So it is full of dharma. Sukham kartum. Very easy to practice. What you have to do? Nothing. Undo everything. Very easy. Just live according to dharma, live according to shastras, follow the teachings of the Gita. Nothing more needs to be done. People want to do many things. So much hardship. Go for yatra, do vrat, do tapasya, go to temples, do japa, do this, do puja, do anushtan, do homa, do havan. Lot of effort. Dan, everything. Here, just connect with the self. So easy to practice, but what is difficult is leaving all the other things behind. That is the difficult part. But connecting with Bhagwan is not difficult because you're connecting with your own very self. And finally, avyayam, imperishable. Imperishable, cannot be destroyed. You can forget all other sciences. You can forget all the history, geography, science, maths that you learned in school and college. You can forget all that. All the trivia, all the general knowledge, everything, it's finished. You don't remember anything. But this knowledge that is coming from the core of your own being, is directly experienced, it is risen from your own self. It can never die and it can never be forgotten. Like, no matter what, you'll never forget your name. Of course, if you have amnesia, it's a different matter. But otherwise, we never forget our own name. We'll not forget our own gender, though these days that is also a question mark. But after enlightenment, one can never forget one's true nature. I am not the BMI. I am Atma. So these are the qualifications that Bhagwan has given to Arjun, has told Arjun, I'm going to give this knowledge to you because this is what you have made yourself adhikari by doing all these things. He has also told us the importance of this knowledge. So those who don't have these qualifications should definitely strive to become qualified. Now, Bhagwan will tell us in the next shlok the fate of those who do not have faith in this knowledge. What will happen to them? We all know what will happen to those who have faith, like Arjun. But what will happen if you are not qualified, means you don't have any faith in this knowledge, then what will happen? But I'll not tell that to you today. I'll tell that to you next Thursday. Okay? Stay with this knowledge. See where you qualify. See your dosh drishti or drishti dosh. See where you stand. Make yourself qualified, definitely by next Thursday. Okay? Oh. 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 Satoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Chidarpanam. Jai Gurudev. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you Jayesh for chanting. Thank you Zoom team. God bless you all. We'll see you once again on Monday. God bless.
Thank you, Jayesh.
Pranam.
Pranam, ma. Good night,
Thank you,
all.
Jay.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jayesh. Good night.
Pranam,
all.
thank you,
Pranam,
Jay.
ma.
Bless. God
Pranam,
bless.
ma. Thank you, Dada.
Pranam,
Pranam,
Ma.
ma.
Good
Thank
night.
you,
Good
Ma.
night. God bless.
Thank you.